The R word, when I hear it, I get very offended, and I do know that there is a correct way of using it and a not correct way. So I was interested because in your book you use the term mental retardation, and I was wondering if that was a medical term or something when you were writing the book that hadn't. Is it still allowed to be used?
I'm glad you bring it up because the R word stings, doesn't it? And it is usually the first time that brothers and sisters step up and become advocates. And I hope you saw that in the book, we have a whole section on how do you respond to the R word, right? And so we give a little bit of a history where the word comes from so that brothers and sisters have that knowledge. It used to be a medical terminology, but now it's an outdated one and one that should no longer be used under any circumstances. And brothers and sisters, when they hear it, oftentimes they are hearing it used pejoratively by people who are using the word to put our brothers and sisters down. And so then becomes a question of how do you respond to that? And one thing Sue and I always say is you don't always have to respond to every time someone uses the R word. If you feel comfortable, good for you and way to go. But sometimes if your teacher uses it or the person you have a crush on at school uses it or in some other context and you don't feel like stepping up, just know that that's okay. You don't have to step up every time. But Sue and I oftentimes say the best response is to share your feelings. So rather than going into a long lecture and lecturing the person where the R word comes from, just telling the person why that hurts, why that word is really, using Liam and using Kristen and using so many others pejoratively. And most people don't want to hurt other people. And then they'll go home thinking about whether or not they'll use that word again.